I don't know how to start this video, so I'm just gonna start talking. I like to play Hearthstone Battlegrounds. And if you don't know what Hearthstone Battlegrounds is, then I'm sorry, because I am not going to explain it. But a while ago, I was wondering, how much damage could you possibly take in one turn? And the way damage works is simple. It's what level tier your Tavern is, plus the tier level of all your minions combined. So if you have all max level minions and a max level Tavern tier, it'll be 48 damage. And I guess now there is tier 7 minions. I mean, that happened a while ago, but I forgot about them. And if you have all those maxed out, then you'll get 56 damage, but that doesn't matter, who cares? And we can figure that out with just basic multiplication, but then that got me to wonder, how much damage could you possibly do on turn 1? It's not like you can do much. You can only buy one tier 1 minion. If your minion survives, then you win the combat. 1 plus 1 equals 2, right? Well, we can improve this by picking a Death Rattle minion that summons 2 minions. For example, in the game currently is Mana Saber. He summons 2 cubs. And if your Mana Saber and your opponent's minion kill each other, you'll have 2 minions at the end of combat. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. And that's the most we could do with the minions themselves, so this made me think of hero powers. And that brought me to N'Zoth. N'Zoth's fish copies all death rattles that activate during combat. So in theory, we can have a Mana Saber and a fish versus a Surf and Surf with his spellcraft active. The Surf and Surf has to attack first, and after the Saber dies, the Surf and Surf summons a crab, and the fish attacks, killing the crab and the fish, and that gives us 4 cubs. And this would be 5 damage on turn 1, and it's completely possible. I almost pulled this off yesterday, but my Mana Saber attacked first, so I only got 4 damage, but whatever. I also won that game, by the way. That's besides the point, but I just figured I'd let you know. But yeah, I think this is the highest you can get on turn 1, unless there's a hero power I didn't remember or something, or some sort of anomaly. And it was at this moment when I remembered anomalies exist. This adds a million more factors, and since I'm looking for possible and not currently possible, I have to look through it all. Finicky Hourglass makes a start in Tavern Tier 2, but none of them seem better than picking Mana Saber. Money match? Starting with 10 gold? I guess magically having 3 Mana Sabers in the shop, maybe that's it. With this board against 2 Surf and Surfs, perfect RNG, and all 3 Mana Sabers dying, then the fish, you could fill the whole board with cubs. You can actually get a full board with cubs with Echoes of Argus a lot easier. That would be 7 plus 1, so 8 damage. Is that the max? Big League? That's guaranteed 6 damage, adding the Zoth makes 7. But I don't think Tier 3 has anything that can go past that. Transient Treasures. I gotta look through all quest rewards now? Spoiler alert, they don't help. None of them do anything super useful on their own, and any of the ones that would help activate on the start of the next turn instead of right away. But let's pretend that you get Yogtastic Tasties, and it activates on turn 1. You spin the wheel, land on Mystery Box, you make the Mana Saber in the Tavern Golden, then you buy it, place it next to your fish, get a triple reward, discover any tier 2 minion, because it doesn't matter who you pick, they just have to be a tier 2 minion. You enter combat, your opponent has 1 Surf and Surf with the spellcraft on, and his quest reward for turn 1 is Smoking Gun. Editor John in here. I didn't realize Smoking Gun got removed, so pretend I said the Golden Hammer. Editor John in again. The Golden Hammer was a bad example. It still works, just pretend that he didn't use his golden spellcraft. It's not very likely. I know I'm going for a stretch here, but I don't feel like re-editing everything, so just roll with it. You get the point. He attacks the Mana Saber, your cubs get summoned, and his crab gets summoned. Then your fish attacks the crab, and you summon 2 more cubs, so you have 4 cubs and a tier 2 minion, and this adds up to be 7. So yeah, still doesn't even tie for 8, so we did all that for nothing. Or we can just pretend that you got Discover Your Golden Buddy, which I don't think you can get as a choice in this anomaly, but whatever. You get N'Zoth's buddy, make the fish golden, have the same exact combat phase, you'll have 6 cubs and a tier 4 baby N'Zoth buddy. That is 11 damage on turn 1, and probably impossible, so in all actuality, I think the answer is 8.